Merħba, hello there. Welcome back. Lesson 8, counting in Maltese. I have an italki page, in case you didn't hear. I'm still waiting for you. I'm still waiting. What are you waiting for? You enjoy these lessons? Book a lesson with me. Come on. All right. So today, counting in Maltese. Numbers, eh? Always very, very tricky in most languages, not English, but in most other languages, quite tricky. Let's get into the main course. So, cardinal numbers. I'm going to read them out. What are cardinal numbers? First of all, these are just the numbers that we know and love. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me read them. We're looking at the left column over here, 1 to 10. wieħed, if it's feminine, waħda. tnejn, tlieta, erbgħa, ħamsa, sitta, sebgħa, tmienja, disgħa, għaxra. If you've ever studied Arabic, then these numbers are very, very familiar, aren't they? Save for a slight change in pronunciation, because these numbers are lifted almost directly from Arabic. One of my favorite jokes, if you can call it that, when I meet an Arab guy, I'll tell him, I look at him, he doesn't know where I'm from, I'll tell him, I know your language. And he's like, oh yeah? I tell him, yeah. And I start saying the numbers, wieħed, tnejn, tlieta, and by the time I reach number 10, the mouth is wide open. Then I tell him where I'm from, I speak Maltese and a Semitic language, and then we become friends. Anyway, notice how wieħed and waħda, right? This has a masculine and a feminine. tnejn to għaxra, no feminine or masculine for that matter, because these are plural by their very nature. But wieħed and waħda has a masculine and a feminine. Now, you can see this middle column here. I already prepared it. I wrote 4 adjectives. What am I talking about? If I want to use a number to describe, as an adjective, to describe a noun, so for example, I don't know, 2 chairs, then I need to say żewġ siġġijiet. A more colloquial version, it's only for speaking, not really for writing. Not that it's rude, but you never really see it written down, is this ġiex. I like saying it a lot, actually. ġiex siġġijiet, żewġ siġġijiet, tliet siġġijiet, erbgħa siġġijiet, ħames siġġijiet, sitt, sebgħa, tmien, disgħa, għaxra. Notice for erbgħa, sebgħa, and disgħa, the apostrophe is replacing the ayn. That's because the apostrophe is the ayn. We don't want to write this down. That looks strange, erbgħa with the ayn at the end. Also, we might be compelled to vocalize the ayn, erbatax. No. Erbgħa, sebgħa, disgħa. Then I have this column over here, a one-syllable adjective. If I have an adjective, a one-syllable noun, to change that to a noun. If I have even this as adjectives. If I have a noun which is one syllable and not 2, then I need to use this version. Let's take the word dar, meaning house. Then that's going to become żewġ id-djar, and I've added an I in front as well. żewġ id-djar. The plural of dar is djar, żewġ id-djar. Tlet id-djar. I was meant to be like that. Tlet or tlit. You could say both. I prefer the first one, tlet. Tlet id-djar, erbgħa id-djar, ħames id-djar, sitt id-djar, sebgħa id-djar, tmien id-djar, disgħa id-djar, għaxar id-djar. Has to be a one-syllable noun. What about the noun tlieta? Tlieta is one syllable, but its plural is not. Its plural is toroq. So I cannot put toroq over here. I'd have to put it over here. For example, tlet toroq, 3 streets. So this is for counting with multiple syllables, more than one, and these are for one-syllable nouns. The next one. So, from 11 to 20. Let's read the cardinal numbers. ħdax, tnax, tlettax, erbatax, ħmistax, sittax, sbatax, tmintax, dsatax, għaxrin. Let's talk about the makeup of the number. Why is there an X in each one? This X comes from għaxra, a key consonant in this word, għaxra, because we're counting in the tens now, 10, 11, 12, etc. ħdax and tnax, very different from everything else, right? tlettax, erbatax, we can see that, right? We have the T, the L, the T, like tlieta, T, the L, the T. Well, actually, the ħdax and the tnax, they share the same root with wieħed and tnejn. Let's talk about the tnax first. We have the T and the N. T and the N over here. For the ħdax, the H and the D, the ch and the, oh, here we go, ch and the. The reason why the J, the ya, the reason why the wa doesn't appear is because of weak verbs. Something which hopefully we can have a discussion about in the far future. So these are the cardinal numbers up until 20, għaxrin, which even over here you can see is a variation of għaxra, right? Actually, għaxrin, this IN, this is one of the many plural suffixes in Maltese. You may have picked up on this from my previous lessons. So this is literally just the plural of għaxra, għaxrin and għaxra. Now, if we want to use, I have to change this to nouns. What am I doing, Jordan? If I want to use the numbers 11 to 20 as adjectives, so 4 nouns, right? Over here, I don't have to worry about the syllables anymore. Whether I have a word like toroq or a word like diyar, I'm always going to use the same form. ħdax il, tnax il, tlettax il, erbatax il, etc. This il is not the definite article. This is a counter. How do we know? Well, first, obvious visual information. The dash is on the left-hand side, not on the right-hand side. Second is that we do not change the il to an ish or to an id in accordance with the sun consonants. We do not change it. So, for example, if I want to say 11 streets, I'm going to say ħdax il-triq. Not it-triq, ħdax il-triq. tnax il-dar. Now, any astute listeners might be thinking, Jordan, why have you used triq and not toroq, the plural? Why have you used dar and not diyar, the plural? Because we only use the plural version of the noun for the numbers 2 to 10. For all subsequent numbers up until 100, at 100 we have a reset. I won't be talking about the 100 in this lesson, but up until 100, after that we have a reset. And from the numbers 11 to 99, we are not going to use the plural noun, we are going to use the singular noun. tlettax il-siġġu, not tlettax il-siġġijiet. erbatax il-mobile, not erbatax il-mobiles. Is this good news? Is this bad news? Well, I take it as good news. Remembering the singular version of the noun is always much easier than remembering the plural version of the noun. But you still have to know the plural because after all, the numbers 2 to 10 are the most used numbers, aren't they? Now, when we get to 20 and, oh my goodness, and subsequent numbers, then we are not going to use the counter anymore. We are going to use the number by itself, għaxrin. So għaxrin dar, 20 houses. This is literally how we say 20 houses, not għaxrin diyar, not in the plural, not għaxrin il, għaxrin dar. Nice and simple, regardless of syllables. Let's continue counting cardinal numbers. wieħed u għaxrin, 1 and 20, or 21. tnejn u għaxrin, tlieta u għaxrin, erbgħa u għaxrin, ħamsa u għaxrin. You get it. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, like I am, you'll notice that when they talk about ages, they actually read them like this. He is 1 in 20. She is 3 in 10. That's because even in English, back in the old days, that's how they used to count. But then this changed over time, I would say for the better, perhaps, because it's obviously easier to say 21 than 1 in 20. But in other languages, including Maltese, it remained as so. wieħed u għoxrin, tnejn u għoxrin. Għoxrin is 20, tletin, 30, erbgħin, ħamsin, sittin, sebgħin, tmienin, disgħa. Notice my pronunciation of 1, 2, and 3 are different from the others. Tletin, but this one is erbgħin. ħamsin, sittin, but then this one is sebgħin. tmintax, but then this one is disgħa. Why? The ein. I may have mentioned this in one of the first lessons. The ein either elongates a vowel sound or it changes a vowel sound. Over here, we obviously have a change in the vowel sound for the vowel E. Disgħa u disgħa, 99, 100. 200 is mitejn. This is a grammar called the għadd imtenni. I'm not going to go into this today or anytime soon, but this is why it's mitejn. But then we get to something a little bit more familiar. 300, 400, 500. And notice, I am using for tliet, erbgħa, ħames, etc. this version here. Because now the number, the unit number is acting as an adjective for mija. 600, not sittamija, 600. 700 spelled like erbgħa without the ein, etc., etc. Until we reach 1,000, 1000. We have 2000, this is 2000. Then we have 3000, erbatax. And yes, we are introducing the T. It's a quirk of elf, I guess. But I'm not going to go into more detail because you will probably never have to count in Maltese. Less so count up until 1000. But to recap, if I want to say 99 houses, I'm going to say disgħa u disgħin dar, tmenin dar, ħamsin dar, not djar, not the plural, but the singular dar. All right, this is how you count in Maltese. A few rules different in English, but overall I would not say too complicated. I think that's a running theme for Maltese in general. It's just about memorizing the rules. But the rules themselves, I don't think are too complicated. So, thank you very much. One more time. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.